This is the health and fitness advice I would give you if I wasn't afraid to hurt your feelings. Today, we're taking the gloves off, and as someone who has lost over 40 pounds naturally in a healthy way in my 30s, it's been my goal to help other women to achieve their goals as well in the same way that I have. But today, I am taking the gloves off. I'm not going to be quite so gentle with the way that I give this advice, and I'm just going to be a little more raw and real. And to be honest with you, this is not a reflection of anything that I like seen or heard. It's as much as it is like, this is advice that I needed to hear when I was going through it because I needed somebody to like big sister me and sit me down and be like, girl, we got to talk. And these are the things that I would tell her. So keep that in mind as I share this with you. I am not passing judgment on you because I absolutely, all these things, yeah, me, absolutely me before. So I'm not passing judgment on you, but I am taking the gloves off and being a little less sensitive today. So it's possible that your feelings will get hurt in this video. Feel free to disagree with me, just do so respectfully. Number one, you do not need another new workout program. You just need to be consistent with one that you have for more than 4 weeks. I think it's really easy for us to get bored or to feel like we're not seeing the results we want to see in just a short window of time. And part of that is, I think, unrealistic expectations on our body and what we see on the internet. But the reality is that in 4 weeks, you're not really going to see that much change. You might if you're like a brand newbie, but if you keep jumping from program to program every 4 weeks because you're not seeing the results you want to see, you're never going to get anywhere. You really do have to stick with a program consistently for quite some time to really see the results that you want to see. And if you've only given it 4 weeks, then it isn't enough time to actually see the progress that you want to see. So drag in, keep going, pick a program that's more than 4 weeks. That might be a good place to start. Pick a program that is more than 4 weeks. Pick at least a 10 to 12 week program, like at a minimum. That way you can maybe consider start seeing some results. But that's the reality, is that all this stuff, it takes time. If you're going to do it the right way anyway. Like if you just want to rip the Band-Aid off and just like lose some weight just to gain it all back, then sure. But if you actually want something sustainable, stick with something for more than 4 weeks before you quit or before it gets hard. Okay, moving on. Next up, fat loss is not complicated. It's not complicated. The process itself is quite simple. There's just something you don't want to give up that's keeping you from reaching your goals, that you want more than you want to be this fit and healthy version of yourself. And for me, it was food, honestly, like just being able to kind of like do whatever I wanted to do from a food standpoint. But it could be food, it could be alcohol, it could be any number of things. But there's something about the current life you're living that you want more than you want to be the fit and healthy version of yourself. And until you decide what that is and decide that this is more important, you're going to stay stuck. You aren't too busy to train. You just haven't made it a priority. If it was really, really important to you, you would make time for it, even if you made small windows of time. Again, I am not passing judgment here. I mean, I kind of am in this video. It feels like it is. But again, this is not really a call out unless you want it to be. But you get to decide what you're allotting your time to. And while I know different seasons of life have different circumstances and different things that are like at the forefront of our mind, you don't have to dedicate an hour. And I think that's where this sort of like all or none stuff gets us stuck in the weeds. And it certainly did for me. Rather than skipping a 20-minute window of time you have to work out, go do something. Go do 10 push-ups and see what happens. You'll see small progress even in just taking small windows of time for yourself, rather than feeling like you need to have like the absolute perfect workout. Just start somewhere. And if you prioritize that time, you'll find that you're actually feeling better overall and not just even one area, because the return on investment of exercise and fitness is so good. It's just so good. You're just going to have to trust me on this one, because especially when you're in the middle of it, it can feel really hard. But when you're on the other side, it actually is much easier once you've done this front end work than it is when you get to the finish line, relative finish line. You are the only person standing in your way from the goals that you have for yourself and the fitness and health and all of the things. You are the only person standing in your own way, because you are the only one in control of the body that you're living in. And until you decide, I'm taking control of my body and what I'm doing and how I'm fueling it and how I'm taking care of it, then you can finally get somewhere. But nobody else has control of how and what you're doing with your body. It is you. You are responsible for this vessel and how you choose to use it and in what ways you use it. You have got to stop trying to optimize when you haven't even gotten the basics down. And I feel like we are in the internet boomage of optimization. Everybody wants to tell you how to optimize your workout, optimize your whatever. It's always optimization. The problem is that for more often than not, most of us would benefit from just getting the basics right and nailing the basics, because you don't need to worry about optimization until you've nailed the basics. How's your food intake? How's your whole food intake? How's your exercise? How's your sleep? How's your sleep? All of those things matter as much, if not more really, than the optimization pieces. So don't be worrying about what supplements you should be taking, at what the proper time for protein intake, all those sort of things, until you have nailed the basics. Nail the basics first. And I get it. There's a lot of great stuff, but you have to recognize, what season are you in? Am I in the season of just getting the ball rolling, or am I ready to optimize? Because I can honestly tell you, having been on this journey for more than 4 years at this point, I am just now in year 4 in my optimization era. Up until this point, I have just been focused on nailing the basics. Now's the time where I'm starting to think about protein synthesis in like my workouts, and how to navigate different supplements and things like that. Just now in year 4. So year 4/5. So if you're in year like 1/2, like, just focus on the basics. Don't get stuck in the weeds. I know it's real easy to get sold on some sort of idea that you need to be doing X, Y, and Z to have like your glow up year or whatever nonsense that is. But you don't. Focus on the basics. Next point. If you genuinely believe that weightlifting makes you bulky, then you probably haven't done it for a long enough period of time to actually see that that's not true. I definitely thought this. I was definitely weightlifting will make you bulky, because that crap was like perpetuated for so long. But I promise you, you're going to have to take my word for it. I promise you. I mean, I don't think I'm bulky. Maybe you do. I don't know. But this is the body of somebody who lifts weights regularly. And I lift heavy weights too. Like, I'm not lifting 2-pound weights here. I don't even have any. Well, I mean, I have some that I add, but I lift heavy weights. I'm not throwing shade on like lifting light weights. That's just a different strategy of sorts. But I'm lifting heavy weights. I've got a 60-pound dumbbell over here. These are my lighter weights for lateral raises, primarily, these 8s and these 10s. And I'm not throwing shade at like lighter weights, but what I am saying is that lifting heavy weights doesn't make you bulky. And if you believe that, then you clearly haven't done it for any extended period of time to know that that's not true, because it doesn't. It just doesn't. Okay. I promise. If you want to look like that, you have to do a lot of things to look like a bodybuilder. If you don't believe me, go watch some of these bodybuilders on YouTube show you their routine and how much they eat and how much they lift and what sort of ingestible things that they're on, or injecting things that they're doing to get them to look that way. All right, here we go. I mean, honestly, all these are a little spicy, but if you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. I'm really sorry. I know that people do not want to hear this, but the reality of it is if you are not losing weight, you are not in a calorie deficit. So it doesn't matter what you think you're eating. If you haven't tracked it, you truly don't know. And perhaps it means that you don't actually know what your body needs to be in a calorie deficit, and everyone is different. So if you're a person who feels like you have tried everything, have you tried tracking? Like, actually tracking every single thing that goes into your body, making sure that you're not just like having random snacks that aren't going in your tracker. It's also a decent possibility that you're not burning as many calories, like you're not needing as many calories in your day as you're actually consuming. And the reality of it is that it takes some nuance and learning to track properly and to make sure that you're actually like hitting all the markers to track properly. But it can be done. I promise. I had to learn it too. And I realized that like what I thought was me eating in a calorie deficit actually wasn't me eating in a calorie deficit, because I was going out to eat fairly regularly. Even though you're eating the healthy stuff, at these out to eat restaurants, guess what? They still probably have 3 and 4 times the calories of what it would have if you made it at home. And so you have to be honest and realistic with yourself about what is your calorie deficit. And if you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. And how I know this is because that's the laws of thermodynamics, and you can't undo the laws of thermodynamics. Calories in, calories out is absolutely a thing. And no, not every calorie is the same, and things work a little bit differently. There is some nuance there. But as a general rule, if you are not losing weight, you are not in a calorie deficit. I'm sorry. And on that vein, if you say you can't track because it's too hard, now I don't mean this to people who have histories of EDs and things like that. If you are one of those people, then you need to consult some sort of medical provider first before you go down that rabbit hole. They probably have some strategies for you that can help you along the way. But for the most part, if you say you can't track or that it's too hard, what it more likely is that you don't want to have to put down in a tracker what you ate because you feel bad about it. And you think that if you don't put it down in the tracker, then it doesn't count and you don't have to feel bad about it. But your body doesn't work that way. Your body knows what you ate, even if you don't put it in your tracker. That cookie you didn't track, you still ate it. Your body still knows. There's no reason to feel guilty about the decisions you made from a food standpoint, but just own it, sis. Put it in the calorie tracker so that you know. Knowledge is power. It's not a guilt trip. It's a cookie. You can eat the cookie, but take accountability for it. Own your choice. And by not tracking it doesn't mean you don't have, like, your body doesn't know. It just means you're not owning that choice. Blaming your genetics and your hormones is not serving you, sis. I understand, yes, menopause, yes, perimenopause, yes, cycles, all the things, but you have to remember that your body is going to go through those things either way. And so if you are hyper focused on things that are outside of your control, you are never going to make progress in anything ever, because you cannot control your genetics and your hormones. You just can't. And so if you genuinely are only focused and worried about those things, yes, those can be a real thing that you pay attention to. But if those are the reason you aren't doing the things like getting the sleep, eating the protein, lifting the heavy things, if those are the reason that you're not, you are always going to stay stuck. Our hormones, our genetics are not something we can control. And so rather than, trying to, make that as the reason we can't do certain things, do we have to just do the best with what we've got and just go from there? Because I think a lot of people would be surprised about how much they can do in spite of their genetics. Random TikToks and 10-minute YouTube workouts are never going to build you the body of your dreams. They just aren't going to do this. Cough, Alexandria, cough, Alexandria. Yes, this is absolutely me, except pre-TikTok days, because I've never had TikTok. But those like little bitty 10-minute workouts, they're never going to build you the body you want. You need a solid foundation, a solid program, again, for more than 4 weeks. And you got to stick to it. Even when it gets hard, stick to it. Because this stuff takes time. And I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard to watch and feel like you're going through the motions and you don't see anything happening. But I promise it is happening and it is working. It just takes time, and you've got to be patient, sis. Be a little bit patient. I know patience is hard. I struggle with it too. Patience. Patience, trust the process. Patience, trust the process. Your fitness routine is supposed to be challenging. If your fitness routine isn't challenging, you're doing it wrong, okay? Now, granted, it doesn't always need to be extremely difficult all the time. There is area for different types of exercise that aren't necessarily always challenging, but you should be challenging your body. You should be pushing your body to its limits. That's the only way you grow and build. Again, I'm not saying every workout needs to be a slaughter, but your fitness routine should be challenging for you. And if it's not, you're likely just wasting your time and spinning your wheels. And granted, any movement is better than no movement at all. But if you're actually trying to achieve some goals or do something specific, then you have to actually push your body in those areas to see the results that you want to see. If you're eating too few calories, then you're chasing skinny and you're going to have a crappy workout. You absolutely are going to have a shitty workout if you aren't eating enough calories to fuel your body. Stop chasing skinny and start chasing strong, because the sooner you let go of like, oh, I need to be skinny, the sooner you'll actually be able to build tone and sculpted the way that you think that you want to. These like buzzwords. Because if you are underfueling your body, if you're not giving your body enough nutrients to run on, you're absolutely going to have a crappy workout, and you're going to like crash in the middle of your workout and not be able to make it through a workout. Discipline isn't toxic, and tracking food isn't obsessive, or it doesn't have to be. These can be tools in your tool belt for self-improvement to help you know and understand your body. It does not have to be a negative or bad thing to have discipline or to, try to see what your calorie intake is. That is not a bad thing. We can turn it into a bad thing. We can make it be obsessive and problematic, but by its nature, it does not have to be unless you make it that way. Self-acceptance and self-improvement are not mutually exclusive ideas. You can absolutely accept yourself the way that you are and love yourself while also wanting to self-improve and always try to strive to be a better and more healthy version of yourself. We can always be doing more. We can always do better than we are right now in the season that we're in. Everybody has the ability to achieve more if we strive for more. It's okay if we're not always striving for more. You can love yourself and accept yourself where you are while still trying to be better in anything. Health, fitness, wellness, weight loss, yes, those things, but also just in life in general, right? I have been a therapist for over 10 years at this point, and still there are areas of my life that I could do to be a better therapist in this space, right? There are always things I could be doing better to be healthier, to eat better foods, all of those things, right? There are always things we could be doing to improve ourselves and to get better and be better than we were yesterday. It's not a competition between us and other people. It's a competition between ourselves and the person that we were yesterday and the person that we want to become. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful in some way. Let me know what big sister advice you would give to others in the comments. And if you found this video useful or helpful, please be sure to subscribe and let me be your non-judging mom friend who comes alongside you to help you reach your goals. And until next time, bye friends.